Hey everybody, what's going on? The first card that we have out is Page of Swords. When we have Page of Swords, there's usually something that we are looking into, something that we are investigating, but then I'm seeing Four of Swords coming out, so there can be something that you're taking a little bit of a break from. You could have been maybe like trying to get information, or you could have been having conversations, or you could have been thinking about something a lot, or maybe like even looking into something. Having that Four of Swords can be putting a pause on that. So whatever it is that you've been learning about or that you've been investigating or seeking, having that Four of Swords can be a pause. Maybe you felt like it started draining your energy a little bit. Maybe this is also giving your brain a break and connecting more with tuning into what you're feeling. More intuitively, more on the energetic side of things. You can also be getting better at understanding when you need to ground, when you need to center, when you need a break, when you need to recharge, when you need to do self-care. That can be something as well. I'm seeing you be very curious, and I'm seeing you like to investigate the things that you care about. Having that Four of Swords feels like knowing the difference between when it's energizing to you and motivating to you to be on versus when you need time to take a step back from that and to touch base with how you're feeling and just be present to that. I also feel like there's a coming together here. I'm looking at Page of Swords, I'm looking at Page of Cups, and then having that Four of Swords in between feels like this balance between what's going on in your mental world and what's going on in your world of feeling. And then I'm also seeing the Death card here, so this could be like a really big time, a really big shift for you that's going on. So the Death card is connected with Scorpio. Scorpio is connected with the underworld. It is the underbelly. It is the underneath. It is the inside of things. So what happens is that we go within, or we explore something, we break it down, we get to the bare bones of what it is, and then it can transform from that point. So there can be something that you have like burnt to the ground entirely, only so that this new form can be taking shape at this point. I even feel like the Death card is kind of staring down Page of Cups. So maybe there's something that you feel you're kind of on the precipice of here, like there being an acknowledgement. I feel like this has to do with an acknowledgement of the cycles of things and how the energy works, just like even in general, but then also as it relates to this particular situation. Okay. We have next to Death, we have Ten of Wands. So Ten of Wands is a time when we can feel like an extreme amount of energy is required of us, and it can feel kind of draining. It can feel kind of depressing sometimes. It can feel kind of overwhelming, or it can feel like a bit of a burden, or just like all the energy sort of on top of you, piled on top of you, and you're having to work your way through. It's like everything just on top of you in this moment. But as you work your way through, when you come out of that, it's kind of like being at the bottom of the pool, or like the bottom of the tar pit, and then you have to find your way out of it. But then when you emerge, it's like you're a brand new person. So I'm seeing you go through a process that's connected with this, and you can feel like the way that your life is changing, it is really significant right now, the shift that you're going through, and it can be something that It hits you on a psychological level, it hits you on an emotional level, and it can be a time when you're recognizing that because you're going through something so labor intensive, that it's also really important that you take care of yourself. And I feel as well like there's something kind of like relatively new that you're investigating, that you can be learning more about, but not to the point of overwhelming yourself or overdoing it, because you're already going through a transitionary time. So this feels like knowing when it's helpful to be looking into this new energy that's developing and like getting more information. I feel like this has to do with a transition that's being made right now, and touching base with how you're feeling. Like, what do I think about that? What is like my gut instinct when I'm connecting with this piece of information, or when I'm looking over there? What am I feeling? So there's this process of absorption that's happening, but you can't do it all at once. This is something very big that you're going through, so you have to do it kind of in parts and pieces, where you can absorb and then you need to process, you have to digest, and then you can do it again. But it has to be this, it's going to be a process that will repeat again and again until you have digested this within its entirety. And this is some area of your life where a huge shift is taking place, and when you come out on the other side of it, you're going to feel like a new person in that area of your life. Like you have evolved into the next form of whatever it is that you are embracing when you come out on the other side of this. You can feel as well like your energy is shifting. When we have something like death, it's not like we're becoming anything other than just more of ourselves. So that's what's in the process of happening with this. It's like peeling back layers that are no longer ours anymore. We don't identify with that anymore. To even get to a more fluid version of yourself. Okay, so this is something that you want to do. There's a feeling of excitement that's connected with this, and there's also a knowing that this is a very big hill to be climbing. And your feelings can kind of be all over the place. Like maybe some days you're waking up and you're feeling great and you're feeling excited. Maybe other days you're waking up and feeling different. Maybe like the day after that, you want to just stay under the covers all day and not go anywhere and wish that the world would leave you alone. There can be a lot of this, like all of these different feelings, all of these different processes that are happening. I think too that you can be becoming more aware of what lights you up when you connect with it. Like I'm having this conversation and I'm feeling really excited right now, versus having a conversation and feeling like it's starting to kind of drain your energy. You're like, it's kind of like if you have a barometer for things, I feel like you're getting more familiar at uncovering not only the feelings, but what the feelings are indicating to you. Again, like I'm having a conversation with this person about this particular thing, and I'm feeling really motivated, I'm feeling really supported, I'm feeling really excited, I'm feeling really enthusiastic, versus starting to go in a direction where you feel like it's starting to tug on your energy in ways that you don't want. So this is also something that you're learning as you're moving through this. And even too, when it's just, when enough is enough and you need to go to bed for the night. So you can be well rested for the following day. I feel like you have somebody really supportive around you. I'm seeing you coming out here as Knight of Wands, and I'm seeing there be a Queen of Cups. This is somebody that can be by your side as you're moving through this. This would be somebody that's like a really nurturing feminine figure within your life. Feminine doesn't have to do with gender, it's just the energy that this person would be embodying. And I'm seeing somebody that can feel kind of like a safe haven as you're going through this period. This is somebody that you feel like just protected in a way by them. I'm kind of getting that feeling. From the Queen of Cups here. Like, this is you and this is the stuff that you're doing, and this Queen of Cups that's near you, I feel like they'll sort of take you under their wing And it feels like it's when you need a break or when you need solace of some sort. And this is also you discovering that part of yourself too. You can be getting more in touch with your feelings and understanding when you're away from the eyes and the pressure of other people and you're just alone and you're just by yourself or in a place where you feel safe. You can be getting more and more in touch with the development of something here that is connected with what you've been feeling. I also, something else that's coming through is that I'm seeing there be a lot of energy that's motivating you and moving you forward through this. It feels like it's very easy to catch the breeze and to be thrust into the air of this, kind of like a kite. It's very easy to get things moving, like kinetically here. What I'm also seeing, having that Queen of Cups there, is this is the part of you that's saying it's okay to go at your pace and to not burn yourself out going through this. It can be a very exciting time. It can be a very new time. It can be a very, like, I don't know, kind of like stuff all over the place. It feels very adventurous, this period that you're in right now. Having Queen of Cups, this is going to be the Queen of Cups within you and can also be a person that you are connecting with. And this is somebody that reminds you that you don't need to run as fast as you can through all of this. This is somebody that's going to remind you you can take it easy. This is something that we can wade into, like allow yourself to fully be present and to fully be feeling this. And it's good to have that guide there because the Knight of Wands is an energy within us that can get like really excited and do everything really quickly and then look back and be like, I feel like I wasn't like 100% present there. And I just, this part of you that is connected with the Queen of Cups or the voice of this Queen of Cups that you're connected with, this is an energy that can tell you to tune in totally and come into a place where you feel totally present. So you're being mindful when you're moving through this while still having fun. But yeah, it's not, I feel like Knight of Wands can get very excitable and the Queen of Cups is like, okay, let's slow your heart rate down a little bit so you can be like totally tuned in, Like, and sometimes it's good to really get in the zone, especially when you're dealing with something like this, but not so much so that you're not tempering in a way that needs to be tempered. That's also important too. And to make sure that you're in touch and that you're feeling everything as you're moving through this. It's like to stay in touch. I'm seeing Ace of Swords. Wow, this is really, really amazing. I feel like this is a very groundbreaking time within your life. I'm seeing like an era of your life that's coming to an end and a new era that is beginning. This is very, very, very monumental. And it seems to like that can be why you need to take... It can be like you have to take days off sometimes, even if this is just a metaphor for like knowing when you need a break, because this is something that's really heavy psychologically to be moving through. So it's something that because of a very big transition being made, you have to make sure that you are taking care of your mental and your emotional health while you're going through it. This feels very much like we are going through it like 100%. This is what's being moved through. And also pay attention to how you're feeling while you move through this, to not do too much too quickly. Because this is a very big shift and I feel like it can be easy to just like tumble down the hill here, or you can do it in a way that feels a bit more controlled and you don't feel like you have to get like totally out of control within the energy. Like I feel like it would make it a less bumpy ride for you to sort of pace yourself as you move through this, because it is something really big. And I think that in general, this can be bringing up a lot of unconscious stuff for you. You can be really seeing some deep, dark things here within yourself that are coming to light, and it takes energy to integrate. And so that's why it feels like there's a need for you to pace, so it's not like, so it goes as smoothly as possible. That's literally it. If you want the ride to go as smoothly as possible, you need to take the time to integrate everything, because this can be a time when you see a lot of stuff that you don't normally get to see. Like, you see a lot of unconscious stuff that is being reflected to you through this process that we don't normally get to see unless we're going through something huge like this within our lives. I feel as well like this can be a time where you feel so absolutely, totally clear on the guidance of your intuition, and just have like worked through the stuff, so you're really clear on the way that you feel and where you're meant to be going. And having that clarity intuitively, internally, is a feeling like nothing else. And even though this can, it's a type of clarity that you have that gives you a sense of peace and comfort, regardless of how difficult or big the thing that you're facing is, because you know that you're going the right way and you feel that confidently within yourself because you're totally tuned in, you're totally connected. And maybe that's a key piece of this too, like you needed that part to be completely on board here. Ready to roll the dice. It looks like this is a big expansion for you on the emotional front as well. You can feel too like you are expanding and you are growing very quickly at this time, and that's why it can take a lot of energy. Like this feels like some very big growing pains that are happening. I'm getting confirmation of this. Even though I'm seeing this be something where you know that this is what you're going to be doing and this is where we're going and this is what's happening now, that doesn't mean that you're not still going to have lots of feelings about this. So you can know that you're where you're supposed to be and that this is definitely the way to go, 100% like confirmed at this point. Yet it can be something where you're like, I'm feeling anxiety some days. I don't know how things are going to unfold exactly. There's a lot of unknowns about this process, and change can feel really intimidating. And also to this process of surrender, there's a lot of emotional surrender here. There's a lot of psychological surrender here. There can be a lot of releases. There can be a lot of letting go, a lot of changing. And changes like this, it can sometimes feel destabilizing, and that's why it is so important for you to ground while you go through this. So you have to have something that anchors you when you go through a process like this, because it is a huge undertaking to be going through within your life. I feel as well like whatever that shell casing has been, it's like ready to come off totally now. And so nothing's really stopping you from expanding and growing. And because something isn't so much like tempering that anymore, that is why you need to pace yourself while you go through this. So your like soul and your energy can keep up sort of with where you're going. And it can be like everything on the inside is making sure that it needs to be regulated, so you make sure that it's like staying at a pace that's proportionate to what's happening here, rather than doing too much too fast and then feeling like you get totally out of touch or totally ungrounded and you feel like the earth sort of disappearing beneath your feet in a way that doesn't feel good. Just make sure that you are grounding through this process, because it is something very big that you're going through right now. And I'm also seeing too that this is connected with a process of healing that you are going through, and empowering yourself, empowering your life, empowering your vision, and not compromising anymore. Really following your heart. Learning about your fears, learning about your anxieties, learning about your worries and concerns, getting a very close look at it. Sometimes it can be, it's like the things that we find to be spookiest, like getting a really close, very, very close look at all of this. And it can be a lot to take in when you're doing that, because you're really coming face to face with something so deep within you here. The way that I'm seeing Knight of Wands looking at death, it feels like going in the boxing ring. And even though at the end of the day, like, everybody's really on the same side here and it's just like an act that's going on, I'm seeing there be this readiness to tackle something that feels like a very major opponent to be going against. And it's really just like yourself and the transformation that you're going to be going through and what you're really ready to take on now. This is like, I'm ready to surrender now. I'm ready to face this now. I'm ready to indulge this now. I'm ready to undergo this now. And I do see that Queen of Cups as being somebody that, maybe you have somebody that's coaching you through it. Maybe there's a guide that you've been connecting with. Maybe there's a friend that you have that's supporting you. Maybe there's a parent, or I'm just seeing some type of an ancestor. I'm seeing some type of energy around you that is like very much an emotional support for you going through this. And can be somebody that helps anchor you and sort of keep you in touch. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.